So if what we did essentially was go through Better MC and then we added a bunch of Cobblemon stuff to it. That makes it way more convenient for us because we get to play essentially Minecraft with a bunch of added mods to Minecraft together with Cobblemon. So if you don't want to play too much of the Cobblemon stuff, you don't have to interact with it. However, if you're like someone like Lilibong and I, where we want to catch Pokemon, you can still have Cobblemon on it. So what we did was essentially get the Better MC mod pack and put Cobblemon mods into it. It works. It works most of the time. Let's see, what mods do we think are essential to something like a Cobblemon mod on this Better MC? So I've already written down 5 from before, which I think are very much essential to playing Cobblemon 1.6. We've come from Cobblemon 1.5. There's a bunch of mods on it, and also the support is very good, and also non-Cobblemon related mods. So it makes it easier for you to play whatever you want to play, which I think that's a big part of playing Cobblemon. So first one, we have Cobblemon Rider. If you have someone like a Cernius, you can ride it. That's it. You can just ride it. This mod allows you to go get any Pokemon essentially that seems rideable and explore the world using that Pokemon. So if I have a Cernius right here, I'd be able to go through the world just riding Cernius. Now, what makes this really good is that you can also use this on flying type Pokemons. Essentially having an Elytra right off the bat if you have a level 20 Pokemon or level 30 Pokemon that is able to fly. You can use that on Pidgeot, you can use that on Staraptor, Staravia, Skarmory. So as long as you have access to flying type Pokemons that are big enough to carry a Minecraft character, then that's going to be useful for you. Also, what's cool about this, if you have something like a Sharpedo, you can ride the Sharpedo, go underwater, and start going through an underwater adventure, right? It's very convenient. Also allows you to speed up through the water as long as you have access to buffs. Buffs do work. If you have something like a Water Strider, Depth Strider, you should be able to be faster in the water. I'm a Pokemon underwater. You don't need to breathe. There's a Staravia there. So as long as you have something like a Staravia, you can fly. As long as you have something like a Sharpedo, you can also dive underwater. Probably not a Staravia, probably is a Staraptor. So if you have a Wingull, evolve it into a Pelipper, should be able to do that. Let's try it out, right? Let's say if you have a Kyogre. So if you have a Kyogre, spawn it in. Why can't I write it down? Spawn it in, write it down, and now you're a big Kyogre on underwater stuff. You're gonna be having access to underwater. Yeah, you don't need to breathe underwater as long as you have a Pokemon on you. What I haven't shown you yet is the flying. Let's go through something like a Pidgeot. Let's go through something like a Pidgeot and fly. So the good thing about 1.6 is a bunch of the animations for the Pokemon, they've changed. They've added a bunch of stuff on it. So instead of relying on your... I'm getting cold. Instead of relying on your Elytras and fireworks, you just need to find a good Pokemon to give you a ride. It also helps in building. It also helps on getting access to stuff that you probably don't have access to before. So this also works on a bunch of other Pokemon. That's probably a flying type. So if there's Pokemon you want me to try, I can probably try it out. Okay, this is probably a good time for me to showcase the other mod that we have, which is Fight or Flight. Oh, what Fight or Flight does is your Pokemon is going to be fighting for you. So if you see, my Fluttermane is destroying that skeleton. Wait, Fluttermane, can you fight? Fluttermane. So there's a bunch of stuff going on. I'm not sure if it's gonna fight the creeper. Hopefully it does. But yeah, Fight or Flight, as long as you have your Pokemon with you. Let me hit this. There you go. As long as you have your Pokemon with you, they're gonna be fighting the mobs, these hostile mobs for you. So if your Pokemon is better, or like if your Pokemon is higher level, it should be easier for them to take down a bunch of these mobs. So let's try going through a cave. I want to show the crowd and stuff. I'll probably add in Chloe's clip of her on the Snorlax. But yeah, let's make this a Groudon, and then let's try the Groudon. Yeah, the issue with Cobblemon Rider is, yeah. So this is the issue with the Cobblemon Rider, right? You don't have any vision if you're in something like a big Groudon. However, that also means they can, since you're riding it, they can take the fall for you. Or like if it's showing some hostility towards us, or if it hit us first, then the Pokemon is going to be fighting for us. The issue with it also means your Pokemon is susceptible to losing the fights. Because, yeah, creepers still deal a bunch of damage to your Pokemon. At least it makes it easier if you have a bunch of Pokemon with you. Mine underground, as long as you have a bunch of Pokemon supporting you. So that is what Fight or Flight does. There's also this one thing, we found it funny that it was hard to see why it wasn't working. The mod essentially needs you to have a fighting move on its first attack slot or first move slot. So if I change this into something like a Protect where it doesn't have any power, or if I change it to something like Spore where it doesn't have any power, it doesn't do damage. You would need to either use an attacking move, probably a special attack or a physical attack, for it to do anything. Fight or Flight also works if I use like a Flutter Mane here and then I hit it here. Yeah, it's still gonna fight. Cobblemon Fight or Flight. We're currently using the Fight or Flight Reborn, which added a bunch of new functions to it. I think definitely a top 2 essential. Cobblemon Rider definitely on top 1 because of the utility and stuff. Fight or Flight definitely on top 2 because it helps you go through your early phase. It's really tough in the early phase, especially if you don't have any Pokemon with you yet. However, once you get some Pokemon, it allows you to go through a bunch of the phases early. Third mod that we're going to be showcasing though, the third mod that we're going to be showing is more on the Pokemon side rather than the Minecraft side. So what we've shown earlier, it integrates itself into Minecraft where it's essentially another vehicle for you, and Cobblemon Fight or Flight, which is essentially just a pet fighting for you. So this other one is Radical Cobblemon Trainers. So there's a bunch of trainer mods already out for 1.6. The reason we used Radical Cobblemon Trainers is because it was also one of the earlier ones. Delete those Pokemon. Is it because I have a Flutter Mane? Oh yeah, I have. I think I'm having issues because I have a bunch of higher level Pokemon. Essentially, I can probably just add clips on top of it. What happens when you're using Radical Cobblemon Trainers is that you have a bunch of new trainers, NPCs, roaming around the world, not just the villagers. You have actual NPCs you can interact with. You can fight with those NPCs. Actually going through the progression, it doesn't want to fight me because there's a level cap. Yeah, it's a mod based off the ROM hack Radical Red for Pokemon Fire Red, where you have to fight the gym leaders in progression so you can unlock higher level cap, and then the higher level cap would allow you to raise up a bunch of higher level Pokemon, fight the next gym leader, and level up your new Pokemons, and then fight another gym leader until you reach the Elite Four, until you reach the champion. That's what we have with Radical Cobblemon Trainers right now. You also meet someone like a Brendan right here. I saved you. No. Oh no. Okay. I have to sleep. Pokemon trainers that you get on your games. Doubles also work. So Radical Red, definitely one of the better mods out there if you're into the progression, if you want something that you can work through. Badges. Yeah, the badges are here. You get the boulder badge here. You get the cascade badge. You get a bunch of the badges here, especially with Pokemon badges. You add that as a supplementary mod for the Cobblemon Flutterman. Can you work? Oh, well, yep. Cobblemon Fighter Flight. Good mod. As you can see here, there's a bunch of new badges that they added. You get that, you fight the badges, you get that, you level up, you get this here, you get the trainer card here. So you access the trainer card. There's a bunch of new trainers that you can fight. This is 741 because we haven't updated the mod yet. But there's a bunch of trainers that you can fight. And if you look at here, I have a bunch of trainers that I've already fought. I've fought May, I've fought Brock, I've fought Misty, some Rocket admins, and you can see here who you want to fight next or who you're trying to fight next. If you defeat this, it allows you to progress your level cap from 29 to 34, so you can start evolving or leveling up your Pokemon after. So that's just a neat mod if you want something to do besides just ordinary Minecraft stuff, right? If you're not into the Minecraft stuff too much, or you just want something else to do. So there's Radical Cobblemon trainers. That's 3. We have a bunch of mods still here, but let's just go for both of these, Cobblemon Mega Showdown and Cub Breeding. I think 4 goes to Mega Showdown. If you're someone that Pokemon competitively, or you know you're just interested in playing competitive Pokemon Mega Showdown gives you access to Megas, and with the new update it also gives you access to Terras. Let's say we have a Charizard, and let's say you have a Charizard right here. I throw Rotten Flush away, and then so let's give me the stone. There you go. It works, right? I'm not sure where it's facing up, but it works. I'm not sure what happened to my bracelet. It's working as a different thing. Oh no! It gives you access to that. You can use that. Mega evolve your Pokemon, and then you evolve, and then you can use it. However, again, not fixed yet, partly because of a Mega Showdown mod. It's still in development, and there's a resource pack being added for it. So it's like another supplementary resource pack you add called the All the Megas resource pack. So if you have that, you should have access to some other Pokemons. So if we go and give it Charizard died. X character is chilling out. Then I give it Mace Bracelet, and then I throw the flint out, and then can I ride it? Unfortunately, something's not working. I can't ride it. But Mega Showdown, it usually works. You can also use that. Let's try it out on the Pokemon. Are we actually 4K days in the server? That's crazy. The amount of time that we've had in this server, that's big. That's actually big. So Megas mod, it's nice. It gives you like access to from the Megas. Haven't really tried the Terra stuff yet, but looking at it here, you have Terra shards here. So this is probably something that you can get on the overworld. You can probably mine this. Everything here, essentially, it's community supported, so there's a bunch of stuff that works and there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't work. You just need to find stuff that is compatible with each other. Go look through their forums, discords and stuff, and then check if how it works with each other. So Mega Showdown, really good. Get the ores and then you mine for the stuff. You have access to Mega. So that's definitely a top 4, especially if you're like a Pokemon fan. That's definitely a top 4 or Cobblemon mod. Honorable mentions, stuff that you want to add to your server, but because I think these are way too essential, added on a ranking list. Technically mods that you should be adding regardless, as long as you're playing Cobblemon. So for those mods, I think you should be adding Capture EXP. So this is whenever you capture a Pokemon, a wild Pokemon, it gives you levels, it reduces the grind, and it gives you like the Gen 9 experience of just being able to capture and just leveling up. Gen 9 and Legends Arceus experience. Next is Cobblemon Quest. I think Cobblemon Quest is really essential if your server wants to get some grind in, especially in our server where Lelebong really likes the grind. So it gives you stuff like this, allows you access to this. If you can set these up by yourself if you defeat 5 Pokemon, catching 5 Pokemon, catching shinies also, and getting the fossil. Also, if you get the legendary, you get rewards for it. So these are stuff that we manually added, Lelebong manually added. You know, it's way more fun to play this game. Next is UI tweaks. UI tweaks just gives you a bunch of information. Counter counts things, right? It gives you streaks. If you can modify it yourself, 10 of a specific Pokemon, you get the chance for a shiny, something like that. Spawn notification: when the shiny spawns, everybody in the server gets a broadcast for it. Unchained, this is just something supplementary with the counter. So there. Unimplemented items, it gives you access to stuff like this where you have bottle caps. If your server is competitive, you might want to have stuff like bottle caps on. Set your IVs using the bottle caps. But again, that's just for we also have more Cobblemon tweaks. These are for the PCs and the Cobblemon UI tweaks. These are for whenever you fight a Pokemon, some UI stuff where it shows you the effectiveness of the move, the description of the move, the base power, and accuracy. Very helpful. Very helpful if you're not. Oh, I see. There's the Mega stuff. Okay. So yeah, UI tweaks, it just helps you understand the game better, especially if you're not very familiar with the game, or even if you're familiar with the game. It just gives you a bunch of stuff to work with, right? Oh, paralyzed, right? Did you see there? It gives you super effective if you're, and also the counts. It gives you super effective if your move is going to be effective for whatever you're fighting with. That's essentially most of the mods that we have for Cobblemon. We tried not adding too much for it so we won't mess things up, but really useful if you're not into competitive stuff. It might be useful slightly if you aren't, but this is definitely more for competitive players. So cob breeding allows you to breed Pokemon. So if you have access to your box, it's gonna give you an egg there as long as it's trying to breed stuff. So as long as you have the pasture box here and you have Pokemon that can breed, it should give you an egg. That egg goes on the timer. It gives you like 5 minutes or a 1 minute timer. It depends on how your mod goes or how your mod. You continue doing that until you get a bunch of better and stronger Pokemon, or cuter Pokemon if you're into that. Sorry, getting a Ditto with 5 IVs or a perfect set, it's useful. It's gonna be useful in this game as long as you have stuff like that. So again, that's just competitive stuff. Out of everything that we have right now, I think those are the top 5, best 5 stuff that we have for Cobblemon. I could probably go through all of the other stuff for just the better MC and just Minecraft in general mods. For the mods that are related to Cobblemon, definitely top 5. You have top 1, Cobblemon Rider. Very useful. I have access to flying even though I don't have an Elytra yet. Fight or Flight Reborn, very useful outside of just Pokemon stuff. You can use it for adventure stuff. You can use it on helping you mine for netherite and stuff. Then you also have Radical Cobblemon Trainers, going through a progression system. So if you want to play Pokemon just in Minecraft, Radical Cobblemon Trainers. There's also a bunch of side mods or add-on mods for it where you not just go through Kanto, you also go through Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and I'm not sure if other regions are also planned, but I did see the Cobblemon Megas. Megas, it allows you access to Mega Evolutions and Terras. That's nice if you're playing Pokemon competitively, but it's also nice because you get to see variations on your Pokemon. Then lastly, cob breeding, which I mean, it's useful if you're into breeding your Pokemon, better stats on your Pokemon. That's more on the competitive side, but if there are mods that you think we should be trying out, we can probably go through. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me run through a bunch of the mods for this game. It's a fun game.
you soon.